Warning! Spoilers ahead for Peabody and Sherman. If you would like a spoiler-free review of Mr. Peabody and Sherman, click the link below. That being said, if you're still watching, you only have yourself to blame. Now, I actually don't have any rants about Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It was a good family film. DreamWorks CG, they've been doing good lately. And I think it was enough nostalgia factor from the original cartoon with little tidbits like the little street sweeper. If you don't know what I'm talking about, find some old Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons and watch the Mr. Peabody and Sherman segment. You'll know what I'm talking about then. And the very first quarter of the movie plays out exactly like the cartoon does, with a lot of exposition from Mr. Peabody. And then it gets to the meat and potatoes of the whole movie with the whole taking the Wayback Machine to impress this bratty blonde girl. I did not like her. But, you're not supposed to like her. She's supposed to be bratty for the first half, and then she becomes likable, I can say, for the second half. Well, that being said, I do have one small, it's not really a gripe, but there are certain points in the movie that I kind of feel like the Robert Downey Jr. versions of Sherlock Holmes, where Mr. Peabody literally scans his whole environment, and in his mind you just see diagrams being drawn out for physics equations, trying to figure out how to either escape a tomb or escape the Trojan horse. It's just like I said, it's like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes, where he basically starts a fight, breaks the holding down, and then enacts it, and like that, it's over. I mean, it still was fun, so I'm not going to knock that too much. I mentioned in my spoiler-free review, there were a good amount of celebrity cameos in there. And I was surprised. I mean, Stephen Colbert's in there, Patrick Warburton was in there, but my absolute favorite had to be Mel Brooks as Albert Einstein. I mean, it's the shortest cameo ever, but I don't know, it did something for me. Now, I said there were enough adult jokes in there that would go over kids' heads, but the adults were like, oh my god. And I think my favorite has to be when George Washington, Abraham Lincoln show up, because something happens with Mr. Peabody. I'm not going to say what, even though this is a spoiler review, because I think it's worth watching just to see this happen. Something happens with Mr. Peabody. George Washington shows up, and then Abraham Lincoln shows up, but then Bill Clinton shows up and says something. Now, I'm not going to say what he says, because even this is a spoiler review, I feel this needs to just be heard to appreciate its full humor. And his line, Bill Clinton's line, just oh my god, I love this movie now. So yeah, like I said, I think if you are a fan of the original Rocky and Bullwinkle segments, it's a good 8 out of 10 movie to worth watching. And even if you're not a fan, and you just like good animated movies with a little semi-risky humor and something that the kids can watch and a family can enjoy, still a 7 out of 10. I'd give it a go. So yeah, that's about it. Don't know what's gonna happen, what movie's next, but there'll be something. Again, thanks for watching. See you next time. Later.